Hi there and welcome, it's Ruth at Artful Yarn. So for this video we're going to be learning how to do the treble stitch or the double stitch in American terms. To start off with, to make it easier to get going, I'm going to show you how to make a foundation chain that's a bit easier to crochet into. To start off with, put a slip knot into your yarn, but leave yourself a bit of a tail. This is about 30 centimeters or 12 inches long. Put your crochet hook into the yarn, and just before you go to put the yarn through that loop there, take the tail end and wind it over the yarn away from you, then pull the loop through those two pieces. So I'm going to show you that again. Yarn over, loop through, yarn over, loop through, yarn over, loop through, yarn over, loop through. So this way we end up with a foundation chain that's got a bit of substance to it, rather than it being a chain like this, which you can do if you want to, where it's really flat. I like this new way that I've discovered of doing this, as it just makes things a bit easier when you're starting out. So I'm going to do 10 of these. I might need to do a little count there. So counting the stitches. So when you go to count stitches, it's helpful to turn the work so that you can see that plait happening on the top there. And so for each V of the plait there, that's your stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 more. Oh, wrong yarn there. 3 more to go. 1, 2, and 3. So then we're going to turn the work over, because we're going to be working across this way now. And to start that first stitch, we're going to make a fake first treble. So we're going to chain 3, yarn over. So this is now we're going to be going into making that stitch, and we're going to just checking where I've got to go into there. And we're going to go into the top 2 of these stitches here. So this chain is coming out this first stitch, so we're not going to include this one for the sake of this sample, and go into the top 2 loops of that foundation chain there. Now it might be a little bit tricky to get in, but this is where you need to really use the point of your hook to really get in there and get the hook through. So yarn over, hook through, then loop the yarn through the bottom stitch there, and you should end up then with 3 stitches on your hook like so, or 3 threads or yarn, and then hook the yarn, pull through 2, hook the yarn, and then pull through 2. Now if you didn't get that, don't worry, I'm going to do it all again really slowly. So for this next stitch, we're going to yarn over through the bottom stitches there, the V, pull it through, then yarn through 2, yarn through 2. So in the UK this term is treble, and I believe it's called a treble because we end up with the 3 stitches or 3 yarns on the hook, like at this point here. But the terminology in America is double, and I'm wondering if that's because it denotes when you have your stitch on here and then you get another one and they count that as, oh well, it's 2, so that's double. I don't know. It just makes things a little bit confusing when you're starting out, but as soon as you can kind of register that it's trebles in the UK, doubles in the US, and if you're ever reading a pattern, just double check, is it a US pattern or is it a UK pattern? The thing to remember that whatever terminology is used, we're creating a fairly long stitch. So yarn over, let's go over that again, through the stitch at the bottom and pull through, then through 2, through 2, yarn over, through the stitch at the bottom, through 2, through 2. And this is probably one of my favourite stitches to do, because you can build up a really easy rhythm with this. Because what is happening is that your crochet hook is basically going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. And so it's a really nice, relaxing stitch to do. So yarn through 2 and yarn through 2. Then when you get to the end of your work, just double check that you went through all the correct loops by counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're counting that first 3 chain there as a stitch. So there you have 10 stitches. So then we're going to, you can either do your chain at this point here and then turn, which we'll do, 1, 2, 3, and turn, or you can turn and then do them. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to do that again. I'm going to speed up for the sake of this video, but also just to show you that over time, when you get used to this stitch, you can see the wonderful rhythm of the hook just going in and out like so. The other nice thing about this stitch is that the work grows really quickly. I mean, I'm using a slightly bulkier yarn here, so it does grow somewhat. Now, when you get to you've done your 9 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're going to be crocheting into the top of the first set of 3 chains that you did. So just be aware of you having to just look and see where you're having to go into. Don't be tempted just to go into that one stitch, one yarn there, because that will pull it and distort it. You have to wiggle and make sure that you go through that one and that one there, so that you end up with those 2 yarns on top of your hook, not just one. And pull through, and there you have it. And then 1, 2, 3, ready to start the next row. So there you have it, your introduction to trebles or doubles, and it's well worth learning how to do that, as many very popular patterns use this stitch. Thank you for joining me. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comment box below. Bye bye for now.